8 feet of snow is headed for the Sierras. A severe weather outbreak is brewing from Texas to Alabama. And this weekend storm just shifted 50 miles overnight. That shift is the difference between who gets hammered and who stays dry. And honestly, the models have been all over the place for days. We've got 80 cities in the crosshairs, record-shattering heat in the plains, and a pattern change that's going to keep us busy through the end of February. So buckle up, I've got a lot to cover, and I'm going to start with who needs to pay attention right now. Before we dive in, drop your city in the comments. I want to know where you're watching from and whether you're rooting for snow or hoping for storms. And if you've got family anywhere from Syracuse to Birmingham, do me a favor and send this their way, because this system is bringing something for everyone. All right, let me set the stage here, because understanding what's happening in the atmosphere explains everything else. A massive pattern change is underway as we speak, and the result is going to be multiple storms capable of heavy snow and severe weather over the next 2 weeks. And here's the kicker. This isn't a one-and-done situation. We've got several storms lined up behind this one, each capable of doing the same thing. The warm air built up across the Great Plains right now is absolutely bonkers. Some areas running 20 to 30 degrees above normal. Get this, Minnesota could hit the low 70s by Tuesday. And the all-time record high for Minneapolis in mid-February is 57 degrees. We're talking about potentially shattering that record by 15 degrees. That's not normal February weather. That's late April. And speaking of crazy temperature swings, let me tell you what happened yesterday in West Virginia. Canaan Valley started the morning at negative 27 degrees, and by afternoon it had warmed to the mid-50s. That's an 80-degree temperature swing in a single day. I've been doing this a long time, and that's one for the record books. When the atmosphere does something that dramatic, you know big weather is coming. And that's exactly what we're dealing with. At the same time, an atmospheric river is pumping moisture into the west coast, and the mountains are about to get absolutely buried. When you've got that kind of temperature contrast, warm Gulf air slamming into cold air dropping from Canada, that's the recipe for serious storms. And that collision is happening right now, which is exactly why the models keep shifting this system back and forth. So here's the deal with the model disagreement, and I want to be straight with you about the uncertainty. The European model and the GFS have been fighting over where this low pressure is going to track, and they've been flip-flopping for days. If the low tracks further north, you pull up better ingredients for severe weather into the mid-south and even the Ohio Valley. If it tracks further south, you still get a big rain event, but the severe threat stays more confined to the deep south. And on the northern edge, there's the snow question. Could places like Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and Buffalo see significant accumulation? Some models say yes, others say mostly rain. And that uncertainty is frankly driving everyone in the weather community a little crazy. But here's what I can tell you with confidence. Let me walk you through the timing, because that part is becoming clearer. Friday evening, heavy rain and thunderstorms fire up across western Texas, maybe spilling into eastern New Mexico. The severe threat starts small, but it's there. Something worth keeping an eye on as the system gets its act together. Saturday is when this thing really cranks up. The low pressure begins to deepen and track toward the northeast. By Saturday afternoon, heavy rain stretches from Missouri down through Arkansas into eastern Texas and Louisiana. Dallas, you could be dealing with storms around 8 p.m. to midnight Friday, with wind gusts pushing 50 miles per hour. Houston, your window is Saturday from about 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Heavy rain and possible flooding is the main concern. This is also when the severe threat really ramps up. We could see an intense squall line developing across the Mid-South. Now here's the part that genuinely concerns me. Saturday night into Sunday morning is when the Gulf Coast gets hit. New Orleans, your timing is roughly Saturday 10 p.m. through 2 a.m. Sunday. Storms possible with heavy rain. Birmingham, and this is important, your window is Sunday between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., right in the middle of the night. Overnight storms are the most dangerous kind, and I'm not just saying that to scare you. The statistics back it up. More people die from nighttime tornadoes than daytime ones, specifically because folks are asleep and not watching the warnings. So if you're in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, or the Florida Panhandle, I need you to do something before bed Saturday. Make sure your phone is charged, your weather alerts are turned on, and you know exactly where your safe spot is. Real quick, if you're in Alabama, Mississippi, or Louisiana right now, drop a comment and tell me something. Do you have a way to get warnings at 2 a.m. when you're dead asleep? That's when this thing hits you, and I want to know you're ready. By Sunday morning, the system pushes into the southeast, bringing heavy rain to Georgia, the Carolinas, and eventually up the coast. Atlanta, your timing is better. Most of the action comes through around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sunday when you're awake and can respond. All right, let me give you the city-by-city breakdown, starting with the severe weather zone, because those folks need this info first. Dallas-Fort Worth, temps 50 to 60 degrees. Heavy rain and thunderstorms with 1 to 4 inches of rain possible. Timing is Friday night into Saturday morning. Houston, 55 to 65 degrees. You're looking at a drenching rain with 2 to 4 inches. Flash flooding is your main headache here. If you live in one of those low-lying areas near the bayous, keep a close eye on the water levels this weekend. Austin and San Antonio, both 50 to 60 degrees, 1 to 3 inches of rain with embedded thunderstorms. Not the worst of it, but still significant. Oklahoma City, 45 to 55 degrees, heavy rain with 1 to 4 inches, thunder mixed in throughout Saturday. Little Rock, you're smacking the crosshairs here. 45 to 55 degrees with 2 to 4 inches of rain coming your way. This is that corridor where storms can train over the same areas for hours. So flooding is a legitimate concern for you folks. Memphis, 50 to 60 degrees, heavy rain with 2 to 4 inches, thunder likely from Saturday night into Sunday morning. Birmingham, and I can't stress this enough, 50 to 60 degrees, thunderstorms with 2 to 4 inches of rain. Your severe window is that 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. time frame Sunday. Have a plan and make sure everyone in your household knows it. Montgomery and Mobile, same story, thunderstorms and heavy rain, 2 to 4 inches. Severe weather is definitely on the table. Atlanta, 50 to 60 degrees, heavy rain and thunderstorms with 2 to 4 inches. Timing is Sunday late morning into afternoon. The good news for you Atlanta folks is that it comes through during daylight hours, so you'll be awake and aware. Nashville, 45 to 55 degrees, rain and thunder with 1 to 3 inches. And honestly, your area needs this rain badly after the drought. Chattanooga and Knoxville, both 40 to 55 degrees. Heavy rain for Chattanooga, possible cold rain mixing in for Knoxville. New Orleans, 55 to 65 degrees, heavy rain with 2 to 4 inches. Storms possible Saturday night, but the worst stays north of the city. Charlotte, 45 to 55 degrees. This is going to be a good old-fashioned gully washer. 2 to 4 inches of drenching rain. Raleigh, same deal, 45 to 55 degrees, heavy rain with 2 to 4 inches. Watch for ponding on the roads. Columbia and Greenville in South Carolina, heavy rain for both. 2 to 4 inches for Columbia, 1 to 3 for Greenville. Savannah and Augusta, 50 to 65 degrees, heavy rain with 1 to 3 inches, some thunder possible mixed in. Jacksonville, 60 to 70 degrees, moderate rain with 1 to 2 inches. You're catching the tail end of this thing. Tampa and Orlando, 65 to 75 degrees, maybe some light showers, but honestly, you're mostly missing this system entirely. And Miami, 70 to 80 degrees with 0 impact. Enjoy your sunshine while the rest of us deal with this mess. All right, shifting gears now to the snow zone, and this is where things get really interesting for a lot of you. Syracuse, you could be the big winner out of all this. 25 to 35 degrees with 4 to 7 inches of snow on the table. You're positioned perfectly on the northern flank where that cold air wraps around the backside of the system. Buffalo and Rochester, both 25 to 35 degrees, looking at 3 to 6 inches of snow in that classic lake-enhanced setup you know so well. Albany, 28 to 38 degrees, 2 to 4 inches of snow or a wintry mix, depends entirely on how fast that cold air punches in. Burlington, Vermont, you can see the highest totals in all of New England, 20 to 30 degrees with 4 to 8 inches possible. Portland, Maine, 25 to 35 degrees, 3 to 6 inches on the northern edge of the system. Pretty classic setup for you. Now here's the thing that makes forecasting this so maddening, and I want you to understand why the uncertainty exists. A 3-degree difference in temperature is the difference between 6 inches of snow and just a cold, miserable rain. That's how razor thin the margins are with this system, and it's why I can't give you a guarantee on exact totals yet. Boston, this is tricky for you. 28 to 38 degrees, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible, but it could easily trend toward more mix. Your temps are right on that knife's edge. A couple degrees warmer and you're looking at rain, a couple cooler and you're shoveling. Providence and Hartford, both 30 to 40 degrees, wintry mix is the most likely scenario 1 to 3 inches of snow with rain mixed in. Manchester, New Hampshire, 28 to 38 degrees, 2 to 5 inches of snow possible. You've got better odds than the coast. New York City, and this is the million-dollar question everyone keeps asking me, 30 to 40 degrees, wintry mix transitioning to rain. You could see 1 to 3 inches of snow before it changes over, but timing is absolutely everything here. If the cold air hangs on longer than expected, you could overperform. If it doesn't, you're just looking at a cold rain. Philadelphia, 32 to 42 degrees, wintry mix possible, especially in the northern suburbs and the Poconos, mostly rain for Center City. Pittsburgh, now here's one I'm watching closely, 28 to 38 degrees with a legit shot at 2 to 5 inches of snow. You're far enough north and west to stay in the cold air longer, which gives you much better accumulation potential. Baltimore and D.C., 35 to 45 degrees, mostly rain with possible ice or a brief mix. 1 to 3 inches of rain is your main story. If you see any snow, it'll be minor. Don't get your hopes up too much, but do watch for that ice potential. Cleveland, 28 to 38 degrees, 2 to 4 inches of snow looking likely. You're in good position on the cold side. Youngstown and Akron, same setup, 28 to 38 degrees, 1 to 4 inches of snow, similar story to Cleveland. Detroit, 25 to 35 degrees, light snow with 1 to 3 inches possible. Not a blockbuster, but enough to make you grab the shovel. Grand Rapids and Lansing, both 25 to 35 degrees, 1 to 3 inches with some lake enhancement possible for Grand Rapids. One more thing about the snow zone. If you're in that wintry mix area like New York, Boston, or Philly, here's what to expect. It could start as snow, change to ice, then flip to rain. And that's honestly the worst combination for travel. That ice layer underneath is what makes roads so treacherous. Your car thinks it has traction until suddenly it doesn't. All right, let me cover the Midwest and Plains real quick because the wild story there is the ridiculous warmth. Chicago, 25 to 35 degrees. Minimal impact from this system. Maybe a light mix, but nothing to write home about. You're in that no man's land where it's not quite cold enough for real snow accumulation. Indianapolis, 35 to 45 degrees. Possible mix with 1 to 2 inches of rain. Not much snow for you this round. Columbus and Cincinnati, both 32 to 45 degrees. Wintry mix turning to rain. Flooding is more likely than snow. St. Louis, 40 to 50 degrees. Rain on the southern edge of the system. 1 to 3 inches. Pretty straightforward. Kansas City, 45 to 55 degrees, rain with some thunder mixed in, 1 to 3 inches expected. Here's the wild thing though. Minneapolis is sitting at 15 to 25 degrees with basically no precipitation in sight. And yet by next Tuesday, they could be pushing into the 70s. That temperature contrast is what's fueling this entire system. It's remarkable for mid-February, and frankly, it's a little unsettling how warm it's been across the northern tier. Now let me tell you what's happening out west, because that's a completely different but equally impressive situation. An atmospheric river has set up shop along the California coast, and it's about to unload on the mountains in a big way. Over the next 7 to 10 days, we're looking at 80 to 120 inches of snow in the Sierra Nevada and Cascades. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's potentially 10 feet of snow in the highest elevations. And this is exactly what California desperately needs. Snowpack has been at record low levels and water supply is becoming critical. It's not just about the skiers, although they're thrilled. This is about drinking water and agriculture for millions of people. San Francisco, 50 to 60 degrees, heavy rain with 1 to 3 inches. The coastal areas are going to get soaked. Sacramento, 50 to 60 degrees, heavy rain with 2 to 4 inches. Keep an eye on flooding in the low spots. LA and San Diego, 55 to 65 degrees, moderate rain with 1 to 2 inches. Nothing too crazy for you. Denver, 30 to 40 degrees, light snow with 1 to 3 inches possible. The Front Range getting a piece of the action. Seattle and Portland, 40 to 50 degrees, rain with 1 to 2 inches. Just another day in the Pacific Northwest. Phoenix, Las Vegas, and the desert Southwest, no impact at all. 50 to 70 degrees and bone dry as usual. All right, let me give you the bottom line here because I want to make sure you know exactly what to do. This is a high-impact system with something for almost everyone. Severe weather, flooding rain, snow, and icy mix. If you're anywhere from Texas to Alabama to Georgia, the severe weather threat is real from Friday night through Sunday morning. Charge your phone, turn on those alerts, and know your safe spot before the storms arrive. Don't figure it out at 3 a.m. If you're in the flooding zone from Arkansas to the Carolinas, stay off flooded roads, period. Turn around, don't drown. It only takes 6 inches of moving water to knock you off your feet and 12 inches to float your car. If you're in the snow zone from Pittsburgh to Syracuse to Burlington, be ready for slick roads Sunday into Monday. The totals are still uncertain, but even a few inches is enough to make your Monday morning commute a nightmare. And if you're out west enjoying that atmospheric river, respect the mountain snow. Chain up on those passes. Don't take chances. Here's what happens after this system clears out, and this is why I said buckle up at the beginning. Multiple storms are lined up to keep rolling off the Pacific and into the country over the next 2 weeks. Each one will tap into similar ingredients: warm Gulf air, cold Canadian air, and Pacific moisture. That means repeat scenarios of heavy snow on the cold side and severe potential on the warm side over and over again. By the last week of February, Arctic air should finally start pushing into the central U.S. If that happens, it opens the door for bigger snow events further south than what we're seeing with this current system. So if you've been disappointed by the lack of real winter weather this year, hang in there. We might have something coming for you yet. Before I let you go, I want to hear from you. Your ground level observations help verify what the models are showing. If you're in a storm zone this weekend, let me know how things develop in real time. Drop your snow totals, your rain amounts, whether you heard thunder overnight. All of it helps make the next forecast better. And if you've got family or friends anywhere in the path of this system, share this with them. That's what we're all about here, looking out for each other when the weather turns serious. The models update every 6 hours, and I'll tell you right now, if this system shifts again, everything could change. The track is still wobbly, and that uncertainty is the difference between significant snow and just cold rain for millions of people. 8 feet of snow out west, severe weather hammering the south, snow chances hanging in the balance for the northeast. And this is just the first of several storms headed our way. February is about to get very interesting. Stay safe this weekend, make smart choices, and don't let this one catch you off guard. I'll see you in the next update when the models shift again, because trust me, they will.